Relational operator. Relational operator actually compare the two operand present in the both side of the relational operator, and for this reason the relational operator is also sometimes also called as or known as a comparison operator. In relational operator, he actually going to compare the or making relation with the operands and return the value in the form of boolean, that is in the form of true or either in the form of false. True is represented by the numeric value of 1 and false is represented by the numeric value of 0. Relational operator basically of 6 types. One is.
So these are the relational operator in Python programming language. In this case, the greater than sign reflects that if the both left side of the operand is greater than the right hand side value, and if the left hand side value in that sign is greater than or it may be equal to the value, and in this way and so on. The relational operator may work in Python programming language in different types of data types, such as numeric data, string data, tuples, and list also. In case of numeric data type, the values are going to making relation after removing the trailing zeros after on the decimal point for the floating point number system. Suppose if I am going to compare these two values 4 and 4.0, then in case of relational operator the 0.0 is going to remove, and then after it both becomes 4, and then after it going to compare going to participate into making relations by using the relational operator. In case of the string data type, the relational operator also be worked. How? Let's take an example. In case of string data type, the relational operator actually work by the lexicographically technique. It means in string, it is going to compare their character with respect to their corresponding ordinal values or corresponding codes, such as like ASCII values or Unicode, and by comparison these ASCII code, they return the value in the form of true or either in the form of false. Suppose value of A, if it is equals to Python, and B equals to also it is Python, then if I am going to check whether A or B are same or not, if I am just writing this relational equal to operator, then A and B, in case of A it is Python and B in it is also Python. So as the both the string are same, so it return value true. But if I am putting extra space in before or after the word, then it also check the space and it also treat the space as a character. So as the ASCII value of the space is 32, so it is also being compared with the space with the letters which is written in this variable. So the result may be obtained differently. Suppose I am just putting an extra space here, so now the first character P is going to check with the first character space, so the both the ASCII values are not same, so it returns the false value. In this case it returns the false value. Now if I am making this letter P in small case, then as the in the first variable A, the P is in the uppercase, but in case of the B, the first letter is in the smaller case, and the ASCII value difference between the smaller and uppercase is 32. So by lexicography technique, if we are going to checking these two strings are equal or not, then the ASCII value are not same in the first character, so in this case also it returns the false value. In case of string, the relational operator actually work in this way, and in case of tuples, and in case of the string list, it is also can be applied the relational operator. But if the value of the both of the operand in the list and in the case of tuple are in the same pattern and in the same order, then it is only can be applicable the relational operator. Now I am going to compare the two operands or two variables values by using the all types of relational operator. Suppose value of x equals to 6 and value of y is suppose equals to 5. Now as x is less than y, so the 6 is not less than 5, so it returns false. Now as 6 is not less than also 5 and not equals to 5, so it also returns false. And in this case 6 is not equals to 5, so it returns also false. In this case x is greater than y, so 6 is greater than 5, it is true, so it returns true. And in this case also 6 is greater than 5 as well as maybe equals to 5 but not equals to 5, but as the one condition is greater than is correct, so the output is true. And in this case 6 is not equals to 5, so obviously 6 never be not equals to 5, as the 6 is higher value than the 5, so it is also be true. Now if I am going to compare with the value of 4 with 4.0, now as 4 and 4.0, I have already told you that when the relational operator actually going to check the two numeric values, the decimal point 0 is going to remove and then after it going to check. So now for x is less than y, that means 4 is less than 4. No, it is wrong completely, so it returns false. And 4 is not less than 4, but 4 is equals to 4, so that's why it returns true. And now in this case obviously 4 equals to 4, it is completely right, so it returns true. In this case x is greater than y means 4 is greater than 4, it is completely wrong, so it returns false. And in this case 4 is greater than 4, so it is not true, but 4 is equals to 4, so for this reason it returns true. And in this case x is not equal to y means 4 is not equal to 4, but it is completely wrong, as 4 is equal to 4, so it returns also false. Now as x and y consist of string, so it is going to check whether x and y by the technique of lexicographic technique. So let's x, and the ASCII value of a is 65, so 65 is less than 65, no, so it returns false. And 65 is less than 65, no, but equals to 65, so it returns true. And 65 equals to 65, that's right, so it returns true again. And x greater than y means 65 is greater than 65, no, completely wrong, so it is returns false. And x is greater than y means 65 is greater than 65, no, wrong, but there is the equal sign, so 65 equals to 65, and that's why it returns true. Now in this case 65 is not equals to 65, it's completely wrong, it is both are equal, so it returns also false. Now if I am taking the value of x is small a and y is capital A, now value of smaller case of a is 97, so the 97 going to check with 65. So this is the ASCII value of capital A and this is the ASCII value of small a. Now 97 is less than 65, no, completely wrong, so it returns false. And 97 is less than 65, no, it is completely wrong, and also it's not equals to 65, so it is also be false. Now 97 equals to 65, no, again it is false, so it now x greater than y means a, that is value of small a SQL is 97, is greater than 65. Yes, it is true, so it returns true. And again 97 value is greater than equal to 65. Yes, not equal to, but it is greater than 65, so it returns true. And 97 is not equal to 65, it is also return true value. So in this way actually relational operator actually work. But in case of relational operator, it works smoothly in case of numeric values like integer type, and in case of the string value it is going to check by lexicography technique. But in some few cases when we are going to deal with the decimal places, floating type values, the result may generated by the Python unexpectedly, and some unexpected result actually generated by the Python program. So better to understand, I am going to give you an example. Suppose if I am going to check 0.1 plus 0.1 plus 0.1. So if I am going to add these three values 0.1, then the output is, if I am going to add this by mathematical formula, so it becomes 0.3. So if I am going to check that it is equals to 0.3, in case of Python it returns false. But why? As in mathematical it returns the value of 0.3, and I am just going to compare with this the value of 0.3, but in case of Python programming it returns false instead of true. Why? Basically in Python programming, the fractional values or floating type values hold the value into the memory in the form of binary, which is allowed to hold the precisions maybe up to of 15 digit precisions. So in this case the precisions may vary, and for this reason the result is also varies. If I am going to print these values, suppose this thing, if I am going to print these values 0.1 plus 0.1 plus 0.1, then it returns in this way. If I am going to print this addition value, it returns these values. So there is a 0.4 value is extra. So it is when I am going to check this thing with these things, as the summation value of this statement is 0.300 like this way, and the end there is a 4, so it returns the false value instead of the true value. So basically in case of Python programming, when the relational operator actually going to work in the decimal or fractional places, the result may occur unexpectedly. Okay, today I forgot to introduce myself. Hi everyone, this is Surjit Ghosh. Welcome to Pathshala, and this is the continuation video of operators in Python programming language. Now I am going to explain the identity operator. Identity operator is represented by in two forms. One is, another one is not. Suppose A is B and A is not B. So what is the actually it is this operator actually how it is work? Each operator actually going to compare whether the values in the both side, that means the two operand present in the operator is, or whether they are holding the same memory address or not. Okay, so A and B holding some values, and if the memory locations or reference are same for these two values, then it returns true, otherwise it returns false. But in case of is not operator, if the values held by these two operands A and B are reflects the different memory locations or address, then it returns true. But if the A and B operand are reflects or reference the same memory location or address, then it returns false. So I am going to give take an example. Suppose value of A equals to 20 and value of B equals to 20. Now if I am write this A is B, then as the value of A and B are same, but it does not mean that the value is returned to must to be true, because in case of identity operator it is going to check whether the value which is present in the A and B, that means in these both operand, are referencing the same memory location or address only, not the value are going to same or not this thing. If the object or reference of these two operands are referencing the same memory location, then only it only return true. In case of this, A and B are going 2020, so it returns true boolean value. And if I'm going to check A is not B, so as A and B referencing the same memory unit, so it is not referencing the different memory locations or address. So A, E and B are same, so A is not B is returned the false value. Now there is a question maybe arises in your mind that how can we know the memory address or memory locations which is referred here A and B are same or not, what are the actual memory locations or address. We can trace it out by the using the functions known as id. So if I am going to use the function id within the bracket, if I am write the operand or variable name, then it returns its memory locations. Suppose if I am going to print this thing id A and id B, okay, then suppose assume that the memory location or memory reference for the variable A is 25,200, and if the memory locations or memory address for the B are 25,200, then the memory addresses become same. And this time if I'm going to use this thing A is B, then it returns true. And if the memory locations are different, suppose this one becomes 2009 209, sorry, 25,209, so it is 25,200 and 25,209. So it is when this time if I'm going to use this A is B, then as the memory address are different, though the value are same, are same in A and B, both are 20, but as the memory address or memory reference are different, so it returns false for this case. And as A is not B, exactly the memory address or memory reference are not same for A and B, so the is not operator is successful. And for this reason, when the memory address are different like this, then A is not B return true value. So in this way the identity operator work. Sometimes you may think that the identity operator, that is the is operator, are just same as the relational operator equal to operator. These are the both are identical or same, but it is actually not they are identical or not same, because in case of equal to relational operator, they are comparing the values which is present into the operand or variable. No, in this case, in this relational equal to operator, they are not going to check the memory address or memory reference which is presented by the operand present in this case. So in relational equal to operator, it is only going to check the values which is present in this operand. If they are same, then it returns true. If they are not same, then it returns false. But in case of is operator, that means identity operator, they are always be going to check whether the memory reference are same or not. Okay, so this is identity operator and this equal to relational operator are not actually exactly same, but sometimes it may work as the same way. Suppose if the value of A is 15 and value of B equals to 15, then if I write A is B, so it's return true value, it returns true value as the memory address of the both the operand are same, and if I am going to check by using the relational operator, so a equals to b, then it also, as the value of a and b are 15 are same, so it returns also true. Suppose the value of x equals to Python and y is also Python. Now if I'm writing this x y, then it also returns value true, but x equals to y, it's also return value true as the both the strings are same. But as in this case I am assign the value b is equals to 15, but instead of assigning the value of b with 15, I am going to take as input the value of b. So I am just writing the b equals to int input, enter the value, and in this way, so the value is going to take or given by the user, and in this case the value also be given by the user is also a 15. And in this case also, if the value of y, which is actually being assigned by the word Python, if I'm not going to assign the value of y by the word Python, if I'm going to take the value y from the user by using the input statement, suppose this time also the user also input the value same, y equals to Python, the user also input the same value Python. Now what is the difference when I'm going to use the is and equal to operator? The basic difference is that as the value of a is 15 is stored in a memory locations, but at the time of taking the input from the user, though the value was same inputted compared to the value of a which is assigned in the variable a, but the memory reference or memory location is always be different. So a is b, memory address are not be same, so it returns false when we are going to take the value from the user. But in this case, as both the values present in a and b, one is assigned by us and another one is taken from the user, but in this case the relational equal to operator, as the value is going to compare with their only their values, not by their going to compare with their reference or some memory address location. So as a and b both consist of the same value 15, so it still return true. And in this case also, as x is also consist of Python and inputted value of y is Python, both are same, but the memory location and memory address are different. As the when we are actually taking the input from the user, the memory address is basically different as they store in different memory locations. So the x and y, if I am just writing x is y, so the memory address of this x and y are not same, so it returns false. But as the value of x and y are same, so in a relational equal to operator, x equals to y, so it returns true. Basically it happens when in case of Python programming, it is basically happen when I am going to taking the string values from the user or floating type of values from the user. In this type of some conventions or maybe we can face, and if we are going to deal with large number of integer data, then this type of harassment may be occur. So if we are going to check whether the two values are present in the two variables are same or not, it is better to use the relational equal to operator instead of is or is not equal to operator. So when we are going to check the two values whether they are same, we are always trying to use the equal to relational operator, and if the two values are not same, then we are going to try use the not equal to relational operator instead of identity operator, because in case of identity operator the result may be differently obtained, as there if the memory address or memory locations are different. So this is the basic difference between the identity operator is and the with the equal to relational operator. In Python programming, each and every value are going to internally assessed and they are assigned by true and false values, and these values are known as truth value of the variable. So truth value is not the same as the boolean data type of true and false, because the boolean value data type are actually represented by true and false, where true T is capital and false F is capital. But in the case of false value, it is written in the smaller case, so true, and in case of false, and this is known as the truth value of a variable. If a variable is consist with no values, that is with none, then it false. If the value consists of zeros, then it also the truth value is also false. And if a string or tuple or list is in the form of empty, then it also return consists of truth value of false. And with except these, all types of other values truth values is true. So this is the truth value, not the boolean type of true and false. It also represent the true and false, but not as same as the boolean value of true and false. Okay, this value is known as the truth value. Now we come to the point, next operator is logical operator. In case of logical operator, they are going to compare or combine the two operands or more than two operands also, whether they are going to execute or not, and such conditions, different types of conditions may be added, or any which condition is going to execute or not. In this way, logical operator basically three types. One is logical or operator, logical and operator, and the third one is logical not operator. So first one is logical or operator. Logical OR operator can be applied in relational expressions as operand, and also in case of numeric, string and list as operand. When we are going to apply the logical OR operator, where the relational expressions are treated as an operand, then any one of the logical expressions are true, then the value always will return be true. If the both the relational expressions are false, then only the output is generated as false. Suppose I am taking the two relational expressions as operand. One is relational expression is x and another relational expression is y, and so the output, now both relational expression x and y are treated as an operand, and if the value of this relational expression is false, and if the value of this also be false, so the output becomes false. Now if the relational expressions of x is true and y is false, so the output is true. Now if the relational expression for x is false and y relational expression is true, then the output is also true. And if the both relational expression x and y are true, then the output always be true. So in this way, actually logical OR operator work on relational expression when they are going to treat as an operand. Now I am going to give you the examples of when the relational logical OR operator actually implemented on numeric, string and list values, when they are actually treated as an operand. When the numeric, string or list value are treated as an operand in case of logical OR operator, if the operand are x or y, then the if the value truth value, not the boolean value, I am mentioning you that if the truth value of x is false, then it returns y. Okay, so if the truth value of x is false, then it returns y. So suppose x, y, and the output, so the truth value of x is false and it returns false, so both are false. So and if the value of x is still it is false and it is true, so it returns y. Now if x becomes true and y becomes false, oh sorry, it is true, truth value, so it is small t. If the value of x is truth value is of x is true and the truth value of y is false, so then the output is x. And if the truth value of x is true and y is true, then the output also be x. Now if I am taking example, suppose the if I'm going to compare that 0 or 0. Now as the left hand side 0 means the truth value is false, and so truth value is false, so output always be y, the second one, so the second 0 is returned. And if the value of 1 or 0, then as it is the truth value of the first operand is true and the second operand is false, so true false, so it returns x, means the first value, so it returns 1. Suppose if I'm going to check that high or with this single inverted comma, as this one is truth value is true and this one is false, so it returns x, that means high. And if I'm going to check truth value with this or, and I am just going to just reverse it, then the truth value of x becomes false, so x becomes false, and truth value of y, that is high, it is truth value is true, so this one, so false true, so output is y, so it returns high. So in this way actually the logical OR operator work when the numeric value, string value, or the list value treated as an operand. The logical AND operator. Logical AND operator also be treated on the when the relational operator used as an operand, and also in case of the numeric, string, and list values when it is actually treated as an operand. So first I am going to explain the when the relational expressions are treated as an operand. The value of x and y, these are the two relational operand and the output. So in case of logical AND operator, if the relation in the both sides of the AND operator are true, then only the output will be generated. Otherwise, in any kind of combinations of operand or relational expressions which is actually used an or treat as an operand, or any kind of combination like true or false, then the output always will return as false. So if the value of x is false and y is false, so the output becomes false. Now if the value of x is false and it is true, but still the output is false. Now if the value of x is true and the y is false and the value output is still it is false, but if the value of true x is true and y is also be true, so then the output only become true. So in this case you can see the logical AND operator only generate the output as true when the both side relational expressions are generated in the form of true. Now if I'm going to compare that 8 greater than 5 and 6 greater than 5, Now in this case you can see 8 is greater than 5, it is completely true, and 6 is greater than 5, it is also true, so it returns true. Now if I am writing this 8 greater than 5 and 5 greater than 6, so as the first condition is true but the second condition 5 is greater than 6, it is false, so the output is false. Now it is I am writing the same thing. If 5 greater than 8 and 6 greater than 5, as the first condition is false but the second condition is true, but it returns false. In case of logical AND operator, if the first condition or the first relation is becomes false, so it is not going to check the second condition. It is only when the first condition or relation is becomes true, then it is going to check the second conditions. Otherwise it ignored the second condition and it not going to execute. But in case of the logical OR operator, if the first condition is becomes true, then it is not going to check the second condition. Okay, it will directly return the true value. So if I'm just omitting this thing, or by OR values, okay, or this thing OR values, logical OR value, then the return is, as 8 greater than 5 is completely true, so as the first condition becomes true, so second condition is need not to be checked, and automatically it generate the output as true. And 8 greater than 5, it is also be true, though the second condition is false, but the return value is still it is true, because it is not going to check the second condition. But in this case the 5 is greater than 8, it is completely false. In this case only the second condition is going to check, and as 6 is greater than 5 is true, so it returns true. So in case of logical OR operator, in this case in this both the cases, the first condition only being checked, the second condition is ignored, and the first condition is come true. But in the third one, the first condition is becomes false, and in this case only the last condition is going to check. So in this way actually actually work logical OR operator, and this is the basic difference of checking technique for logical OR and logical AND operator. Now we come to the point to compare the two values when the operand Now I am going to give you the examples for the numeric and string and list values when it is actually treated as an operand in case of logical AND operator. In case of logical AND operator, if the expressions in the x is becomes false, then it returns x, and otherwise it returns y. So the truth value of x is false and y is false. So as x is false, so output is becomes x, and x is false still, and y is true. As x is false, so it returns x, and x is true, the truth value of x is true, and truth value of y is false. So as the truth value of x becomes true, so the output becomes y, and the truth value of x is true and truth value of y is false, so the return or output is y. So in this way actually work. So I am going to take an example. Suppose if I am going to check 0 and 0, as the 0 is the truth value of 0 is false, so it returns the value x, so the output is 0, which is actually reflect this 0. Now if I am going to check 0 and 1, then 0 is the truth value of 0 is false, and 1 is true truth value. So as the false and another is true, so return output is x, so 0 is output. And if I am going to check this 1 and 0, so the truth value of x becomes true and the truth value of y becomes false, so it returns y. So the value of y is 0, so it returns 0. So these are the examples of when we are going to put the logical AND operator in case of numeric string and list, which is when it is actually work as operand. In case of logical NOT operator, if the truth value is true, then it returns false, and if the truth value is false, then it returns true. So it just return the opposite values. Suppose not 5. So as the truth value of 5 is completely true, because it not a none, not a 0, so it returns false, and not 0, so at the truth value, as the truth value of 0 is false, so it returns true. Suppose not 5 greater than 3. Now as 5 greater than 3 is completely right, so it returns true value, but as it is written the true value, so it returns false. And if not 5 less than 3, so as 5 is not less than 3, it is always be greater than 3, so it returns false, so the output is true. So this is the logical NOT operator. Now I come to the point of chain comparison operator. In case of chain comparison operator, it is actually the simplified form to write the multiple logical AND operator in a simple form. So if I am going to check that 5 is lesser than 6 and 6 is lesser than 8, it can be also written in the short form that 5 less than 6 less than 8. So if I am writing this thing and these things both are same, suppose 5 is less than 7 and 7 is greater than 6. So if I am going to write this thing, then it becomes in short form 5 less than 7 and greater than 6. So these both are same. So these are the chain comparison operator. So in this video, I have explained the three types of operator available in Python programming. One is relational operator, identity operator, and another one is a logical operator. In the next video, I am going to explain the rest of the other operators available in the Python programming language. So to get the notification, you have to subscribe my channel and press on the bell icon button to all. And if this video is really helpful to you, then give a like and share with your friends. Till then, keep watching the rest of the other videos of this channel. Bye bye and good day.